If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Later today, some sort of player review and career mode, so look forward to that. However, right now, not sure what I've called this video because I've done like my favourite players so far in FIFA 20. I say so far, you know, my favourite players through FIFA 20. I've done those videos. And even though they are my favourite players, this is a list. We're sort of abandoning the favourite player series. This is a almost definitive list of players that I will remember for years to come. You know, when you think back to FIFA 13, I think of the McGeadys, the Adel Taraps, the Hatem Ben Arthurs, 77 rated Aubameyang. Not many others, maybe Kelvin. But those are the type of players who I will remember forever. If you said to me, do you remember using Benzema in FIFA 13? Absolutely not. These are the players I will remember for the next 5 to 10 years when someone says to me, what are players you think of when you think of FIFA 20? Up first, we're going to talk about this Benatia card. Now, yes, he has better cards. 97 rated team of the season, 88 rated player of the month, and whatever. But this 85 rated card was the one that was in my club for a hell of a long time. Packed him untradeable from some sort of upgrade team of the week pack thing. And he, off the bench, scored so many goals for me and saved me quite a lot of the time. He was good for objectives as well, actually, because there was quite a few objectives that required French players with a 4 or 5 star weak foot. Of course, he's 5 star weak foot, 4 star skills, which is really nice. I'm pretty sure the team of the season is 5 star, 5 star. No, it's not. One of them is. Is it a shapeshifter? No, maybe I'm talking absolute nonsense. He should have had a foot birthday card. It should have made him 5 star, 5 star. Anyway, this 85 rated Benatia card was absolutely superb for me. And at the time, he was super, super expensive as well. But I'm hoping, and I would have thought, that in FIFA 21, Benatia will have a very usable card because it does look like the gameplay and what have you is very similar, if not the same as FIFA 20, which will upset a lot of people. But what I mean is the type of players that you use look to be quite similar. So hopefully Benatia in FIFA 21 can recreate some more memories for me. But in FIFA 20, he'll be a player that I remember for a long time to come. Now, I mentioned Aiden McGeady not too long ago when I was thinking of FIFA 13, and he will pop up nearly every single year. This year, maybe not quite as predominant as FIFA 13. What did he used to play for? Was it Moscow he used to play for in FIFA 13? I think I waited. In fact, I'm going to check it because I've got Footbin open next to me. So, in FIFA 13, yeah, it was. He played for Moscow. He was an 82 rated player. He was really good. And then right at the end of the game, we're talking July time. Now, I don't know this for a fact. I'm just going off memory. Bearing in mind, that's 7 years ago. He got himself an inform. I know he had an inform. But I'm pretty sure it was right at the end of the year. Like, all the series that I was doing had finished. We were winding down at the end of FIFA 13. And then he got himself an inform. And I just had to pick it up. It wasn't the cheapest thing ever because people weren't opening packs. But and then he moved to Everton. And that made it so much easier to play with him. But unfortunately, he wasn't really given a good special card until FIFA 19, where he had himself an 85 rated team of the season. But this year, he was given an 88 rated flashback. I'm hoping in FIFA 21 he gets something similar. Probably not because they've done it this year, but we'll have to wait and see. This card was just a lot of fun to use, though. Wasn't expensive, of course. Part of that Irish SBC. 5 star skills, 4 star weak foot. Really good pace. Very good dribbling and ball control. Wasn't good reaction-wise, and not a player that I used extensively. Maybe 100 games or so I played with him, but I remember a lot of those games. I remember a lot of the goals that he scored, and I used to bring him off the bench to help me out here or there. Just a fun player. Not necessarily a good player, but a fun player. And from one fun player to another, we're going to talk about flashback Adel Tarap. Now, I actually preferred this card to his team of the season. Why, you might ask? Well, he has 5 star skills, whereas the team of the season card doesn't have 5 star skills. Why? I don't know. Now, the team of the season card has 75 stamina and has 4 star, 4 star. The flashback has 5 star, 4 star and 70 stamina. So that 5 stamina is not really going to make that much of a difference. If it was the difference between 85 and 90, maybe, because that would be the difference in conking out 80th minute and finishing the 90. Between 70 and 75 is the difference between making it just past half time and the 55th minute. Do you know what I mean? It's not really that big a deal. So bringing a Deltarap off the bench is, and still is, just fun, pure fun. He's not necessarily a good player. I mean, he's alright, obviously needs to be decent, so, you know, you can do the skills and have fun with him in the first place. But it's like having McGeady, but a little bit more of a composed Aiden McGeady. A little bit less pace, more composure. That's basically what this is. Having both of them in the same team together is just pleasure. Okay, with allowances, because FIFA 20 isn't the best game in the world for skilling. I'm aware of that. FIFA 13, 14, 15, and even 16 were better. But you can still humiliate people if you know what you're doing, and that was a lot of fun. I remember Deltarap and McGeady for a long time to come. It's just a shame that Hatem Ben Arfa isn't in this game, because you can guarantee EA would have given him a flashback card. Our next player, I am going to completely butcher his name. I still can't say it even now. Robin Quaison, not sure. Either way, I was one of few people who liked this card, because there are a few things that go against him. You know, he's 6 foot. It's not too tall, but it's not really ideal. Average body type, but in game he does look and feel a little bit on the stocky side. And there are a few other things here or there. 3-star, 3-star is not ideal. If he had 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills, maybe it would be a little bit better. 4-star, 4-star would have been the dream. But for whatever reason, this card was incredible. He wasn't the cheapest player to complete, because it was an SBC. It was around 170 to 180,000 coins at the time. But I just had a lot of fun with him, and he was a good player. It wasn't like the McGeady and the Tarap where he was just fun and he wasn't that great, but you could still perform skill moves. You had to work with this card because, of course, 3-star, 3-star, not ideal. You had to make sure you were on the right foot. You had to make sure that you were in the right position. You couldn't spin your way out of trouble and whatever, and you couldn't humiliate people. But what you could do was just bang goals in for days. Just run through people. His strength is insane. He could do it for the entire game as well because his stamina was crazy. Very good shot power and passing as well. Just a very, very good player, and he was extremely underrated. I know a lot of people disliked him because of those problems I mentioned previous, but just one of those cards that unless you actually play with him, you're not going to be able to appreciate, unfortunately. But I'm here to tell you that if you have got him in your club for whatever reason and you just haven't really used him, go and try him. A little bit temperamental in places with that 3-star, 3-star, and the fact that he does feel a little bit stocky, but the stockiness goes for him because that strength and that pace combined, just he gets the rub of the green all the time. 50-50 balls, he's going to win them. Defenders are not notorious for winning 50-50s anyway in this game, but I really did enjoy this card. I thought he was a magnificent player. Now, speaking of magnificent players, this Team of the Season Naby, not as underrated as I not would have liked him to have been, but I don't see him that often in teams. Not that I play a great deal of FIFA anymore, but even when he came out, I didn't see him that often. He was packed quite regularly. He's not an expensive card these days. He's around 90,000 coins. I've packed him twice recently through guaranteed packs and what have you. But he does have 4-star, 4-star, high medium work rates, average body type, so he's not in that sort of lean category. Does have decent stamina at 90. Very, very quick, very good on the ball. Not the most composed player in the world, but decent in front of goal and very clinical when it comes to passing. For whatever reason, he just hit the nail on the head for what I needed in the game, for how the game plays, and for every time he received the ball, I felt like something was going to happen. He was one of those type of players where there's another player that I'm going to give an honourable mention to, and I'll talk about that right now. Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho's Team of the Season card is one of those that I still use even now. He's in several teams that I have. And that's the type of player who can create something from nothing. Mahrez is very similar. They can be quiet for the entire game and then bang, all of a sudden they've got a hat-trick in the last 10 minutes of the game. That's what Naby does. Maybe not as good as Mahrez, because Mahrez is the king of that in this FIFA. Sancho is very similar. Naby is a very, very good explosive player. Very, very quick, very good on the ball, very good in front of goal, and with the right chem style can just unlock that next level. Doesn't get spoken about enough, or rather didn't get spoken about enough. Wasn't involved in many people's teams because there are a plethora of right wing players that you can use in this game, that are equal to or higher rated than Gnabry, and I get that, I do understand, but at the same time, is one of those players, again, unless you've tried him, you don't really understand how good he is. Big fan of this player, and I will remember him for a long time, but not as much as my next player. A lot of you, in fact maybe even all of you, will be wondering why Jari Litmanen was my second or potentially third favourite player this FIFA. Hundreds of games played with him, despite the fact that he's not particularly that great in game. But he is my favourite football player of all time. Not in FIFA, in real life. I'm a Liverpool fan. He played for us for a couple of seasons, but I followed his career when he was at Ajax, when he was at Barca. He joined Liverpool. It was like a dream. And then I've watched him against Wales when he played for Finland. I have followed this guy a little bit around the world watching him. But either way, in FIFA this year, I've had more fun with him than I have any other FIFA. It might be to do with the fact that I'm better at this FIFA than I have been in previous years. He is I wouldn't say a new icon. He's been in the game for about 3 years, I think. And I've had him every single season. My ambition in every road to glory is to get Jari Litmanen in the team. This year, it was made possible by icon swaps. Next year, I'm hoping to be able to get him a little bit earlier. I'm hoping that if they do icon swaps again, he's in the first batch and we can pick him up straight away. Don't care which version. But this 91 moments version, like I said, I've got hundreds of games with him. And he's got a lot of goals. He's got a lot of assists. He was actually quite capable. 4-2-3-1 as a centre mid. He was more than capable, actually, of not defending necessarily, but holding the ball up, playing a very good pass. His passing wasn't great, but with a boost, you can get it into the 90s. And of course, when this card first came out, he was actually very good compared to the cards that are available at the time. Now, if you compare them, or compare him to Summer Heat and Team of the Season cards and all the rest of these SBC cards that keep coming out, yes, he's not very good. His balance is off. His agility isn't that high. His dribbling, his pace. There are so many different reasons why you shouldn't buy this card now. However, I still have a lot of fun with him. You see that icon in someone's team and you think, well, he's just done through icon swaps. He just wants an icon in his starting 11. That is half the case, but the other reason is because I just love him in real life. That's why he's in every team that I build. And I won't forget this year's Jari Litmanen card. Last year was decent because we, again, the whole road to glory point was to try and get him on the road to glory, get him and Gerrard together, and maybe a couple of other players. Next year's road to glory, I think the point is going to be to get him, Gerrard, Fernando Torres, any other Liverpool icon that we can get our hands on, and Liverpool players, get them in a team together. It'll always be the road to glory way, but this year I'll remember it more than any other because we played so many games with him, had him fairly early on, and I was actually decent enough to be able to get some good goals and assists with him. A lot of fun, decent player at the time when he came out, definitely behind the curve now, but if you love a player in real life, they will perform and they will play well in game, and I guarantee that to anyone. Find someone who you think is a fantastic player in real life, whether it be an icon, whether it be a bronze or whatever. Go and buy them, if you can afford them. Put them in a team, doesn't matter what team it is, and play with them. And I guarantee you, they will feel pretty decent. If they're a bronze card or a silver card, they won't feel as bad as you think they're going to feel. They'll actually surprise you. And if they're a gold card or a special card, they will be phenomenal. And that's because you have an emotional attachment to them. Trust me, go and do it now if you don't believe me. It's a thing. It works. Did it with John Arnorisa in FIFA 14. He was a silver left back with no legs, and he was incredible. He scored goals for days. What a card. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up. I do have maybe one other two players that I could mention that I won't forget in a hurry from FIFA 20. But if you want to see that, obviously feel free to hit the like button. Otherwise, we'll continue with the sort of player reviews that we're doing just to see us through to the demo. Let me know of one player that you won't forget for the next 5-10 years when it comes to FIFA 20 Ultimate Team in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.